Alrighty, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be going over my top 3 comic books that I've been reading as of January 2026. And what you need to know about me before you start jumping down my throat is I am a brand new reader of comics. Do not ruin this for me. I'm having a great time doing this and sharing my experience with you guys. So please, please, please do not be upset if I do not name a title that you enjoy a lot. Just maybe recommend it and I will gladly check it out. These are, I've only been reading since maybe Thanksgiving, so these are a very limited amount of comics I have actually read. But I do think I have a good amount so far that I've gone through. So I'm going to give you guys my top 3 comics for the month of January that I'm either actively reading or I've read so far that I would recommend to other people. And then I'm going to give you 2 other ones that are kind of on my drop list or my drop watch list because I might drop these comics that kind of losing my interest. So I guess we should maybe start there. Let's start with comics that I potentially am going to drop. Not saying I'm going to, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to continue to go down the rabbit hole and push through this little slug fest I'm currently in. But the first one that I potentially am going to drop, kind of just picked it up on a whim, didn't think it was something I was going to read, is Transformers. So I started reading Transformers. I probably read the first 2 issues. Then I got introduced to Duke. I really liked the character Duke, read the Duke series. And I just feel like the Duke series was okay. It was probably a good comic, but it wasn't like mind blowing, and it kind of is taking me away from wanting to go back to Transformers. And sometimes that's just how things are. I'm going to try and pick it up again, but Transformers is on the drop watch list. And then the next comic is East West. The first 2 volumes were amazing. I was captivated by the scenery, captivated by the story, by the environment that they were creating. And now I feel like I'm kind of at a point in this 3rd volume where it's kind of just like taking too long to get there, right? Like at some point, we got to get to the culmination or the combination of everything to continue the story forward. And I feel like we're just kind of never really getting there. Um, and that's kind of sad because I was extremely motivated and interested in it when I started reading it. I'm gonna, maybe come back to it in a month or so and see how I feel about it. But it is on the comics that I might drop watch list right now. Alrighty, now what you guys have probably come here for is the top 3 comics that I would recommend, especially if you're a new comic book artist or new to comic books in general, not artists, sorry. If you're new to comic books. So first off, we're going to start with honorable mention. The first honorable mention would be Junkyard Joe. I would highly recommend it. Junkyard Joe is an Image comic. Um, creation by Ghost Machine. Ghost Machine is like indie comic book creator inside indie comic book creator that is Image Comics. So it's super extra indie comic, I guess. I don't know. I'm still again learning about all this stuff, but Junkyard Joe was a really good series, and I connected with it a lot, being a veteran, and not necessarily that I deal with the same mental issues that the 2 main characters are dealing with, but I could get there. I could see it through my life experience, and Junkyard Joe did a good job relating that to me. But Junkyard Joe really makes it onto this list because of another comic series, which I'll mention later. So stick around for that. The next honorable mention is Battle Beast. So right now, my understanding is there's only 6 issues. I've read all 6 issues, and they're going to be coming out with another group of issues this summer, I believe, at some point. But Battle Beast is super interesting comic, and I've really enjoyed it. And really, Battle Beast is sparked from me reading another comic that is on this list as well. So starting at number 3 in my top 10 is Invincible. I'm on volume 1 of the Compendium, or Compendium volume 1. and I'm about 70% through it, but I've just really enjoyed the Invincible story. I feel like, again, it's one of those that started really strong, and it's, building out the universe, but I'm kind of at a point again where I wanted to just continue to move forward, and we're kind of getting towards that slog fest, which sometimes happens in comics. I'm noticing from my trend of seeing just the few comics that I have read so far. But Invincibles is really, really good. I would highly recommend, especially the first half of the compendium was extremely good. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat. I like the battles. I like the gore of it. It's like comic book art meets like a graphic, like bloody fight. Like it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just a really good art style and a really good story, and both of those combined to make a really good comic that I would highly recommend. Now I know there's going to be people out there that are super Invincible fans, and they're going to be wondering what is above Invincibles. Well, to me, coming in at number 2 is Aquaman 52. So like I said, I'm new to comics. This was the first time I ever experienced reading Aquaman at all. And I read the initial story, and then I ended up in Aquaman 52. And volume 1 and 2, The Trench and the Others, amazing comic books. The art was amazing. And in volume 3, they kind of went away from, I think it maybe was a different artist. But I would just say, like, the Aquaman art for volumes 1 and 2, stunning. Like, there's so many things. So many times I was just showing my wife, like, look at this picture, look at this drawing. This is like beautifully done. And I don't think any other comic has really made me want to show the art the same way that Aquaman 52 did, especially those first however many comics that was in the volume 1 and 2. And I really enjoyed the story. I like the twist on Aquaman. Um, I just like the whole thing that was going on with Aquaman in those first 2 volumes. I do plan on getting back to it at some point, but again, just like everything else, there's always just that point where I'm just like, do I really want to fight through this to continue this story in hopes that it gets better? So I do find myself kind of, going away from it. But still, Aquaman Volume 1 and 2 were so good, I had to put them on this list. Next and final, the number 1 book that I would recommend to anybody is Geiger. I have read all of the issues up to number 17. I believe issue 18 is out. I could go to a store and pick it up if they have it. And issue 19 will be dropping later this month. But Geiger is just like an amazing story. It's really well done. It captivates me. It's me being in the nuclear power field. The science aspect of it. It might not be perfect per se. Like the science might not be 100%, but it's still a compelling story and a unique way to think about what would happen in a post-apocalyptic world if somebody did or was able to absorb all of the energy of a nuclear blast and turn into this pseudo not perfect superhero creature. And I think that's like what I love about it. It's a superhero, but he's not perfect. He has his flaws. He never like chose it. He's not like super rich. He was just like an average dude that had cancer, had a family, and then the world came to an end. And you see the story, you see the progression, and you see introducing all these characters. And like I said, one of the characters I really enjoyed from its own right was Junkyard Joe, and then seeing Junkyard Joe being woven into this story, it's like peak to me. It's like the best of the best, and I just am excited to read the next issue. Like it's the first time where I feel like I want to go and get a poll list for a comic. So I feel like because it's creating that feeling in me, like, hey, go get the poll list, go see the next issue as soon as it comes out. Geiger has to make the list because that's just super exciting for me as a new comic book reader to find something that's actively being produced that I am invested in and enjoying the story of. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you love my list, you hate my list, things that you recommend for me to read. you know, what's your guys' thoughts on dropping comics? If you hate that people drop comics, if you think like it's just part of it, you got to read through it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, love you guys so much. Peace.
Comic Book Corner. Turn the page, explore. Heroes rise, the villains scheme. The hero falls, the city screams.